Hello there. How's it going? I'm just doing a check since this is a new setup again. Yeah. Hi there. It's kind of late. Originally was planning on going live earlier, but it just ended up being a little. It's better late than never. Hello, Aiden. Good evening. Hello, ABC. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Hello. Hello, Misty. How's it going? Good evening. Oh, good afternoon, Stephen. Thanks for joining. Hey, Cosmic Ray. Yeah, so I had said yesterday that I wasn't going to do any live observing, which is true. I'm not doing any tonight, but I am kind of quickly going through my gear that I'm taking tomorrow morning to Starfront. Yeah, good afternoon, Seiko. Yeah, no clear skies here. I do have I do have a sorry, Stephen was sharing the sun earlier on Discord, which if you haven't joined the Discord server, please you should check it out. But now clouds have rolled in, but I see a nice, lovely view of the ocean or the bay from New Zealand. But yeah, so Starfront is so they have these remote observatory, remote telescope hosting services. They've been around for years, these kind of services, not specifically Starfront. And they're typically located in very dark areas, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, the Sierra Nevada mountains, and Starfront is a relatively new one, but it is it's becoming a fairly popular service because it's got the pricing is pretty good. Like a lot of these other services, basically they have a building. Well, let's bring it up. Let me show you what they're all about, and then we can talk to that. Let's see. I have stuff just off camera, which is why I'm having a hard time seeing my scenes here. Whoa. Okay, let's try this. There we go. Okay, I picked the right one. This is set. It says Jeff. I'll turn off that. Oh, and I might as well turn off the all sky camera because there is no all sky camera up and running at the moment. Anyhow, so let's look at Starfront real quick. So yeah. Anyway, I'll go over this in a second, but oh yeah, I know how that goes. Accidentally pressing. I was really worried about that the other day. I had like lifted my keyboard and put it on the trackpad or the bottom of the laptop below the keyboard, and sometimes when I put it there, I end up pressing a key, and that much hilarity ensues. So I know how that goes. And happy Valentine's Day to everybody, and Misty, to you too. Anyway, so I'll talk about Starfront here briefly, but then what I wanted to go over, and some of it is just kind of to show what I'm taking to Starfront, but also kind of some last minute preparation, which I'll get into in a moment. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I'll be getting that together, and it probably won't be that long of a stream, I guess. It depends on, we'll chat a bit, but I have to get an early start tomorrow to drive a few hundred miles Starfront is located in Texas, and but yeah, so we'll do that. Kind of go over what I'm bringing besides the Seestar, and yeah, I think that's pretty much the plan for tonight. So I don't know, because ABC had asked about Starfront. I think I don't know if ABC is back yet, but let me see. It's rather unfortunate. Like I say, I have this box here. This box of, and it looks worse than it is. It's just, it was an Amazon box I happen to have sitting around. But let me go back to the camera view, because I'll start looking over the stuff here. Like I say, it's nothing too impressive, but I'm gonna start with the thing I dumped on the top here. I need to bundle this up, but because it is a telescope hosting service, they provide not only space for the telescopes, but they also provide network connectivity and power. They're 24 hours a day, so if you need kind of some remote hands, like something needs to be restarted or something, they can do that. But one of the things you don't have to bring it, but they'll sell you one if you want it. But they asked for like a 30-foot Ethernet cable, and it turns out I had a 50-foot one sitting here that wasn't being used. So that is an essential piece, but probably the least interesting thing. So trying to put this in an area where it won't get lost or run over by my chair. I need to bundle that up more. I just pulled it out recently. I brought this is just zip ties, or not zip ties, Velcro ties. That is a good point. I think it's good. I will test it. Maybe I'll test it today. Should be easy enough to test. I should have unplugged the cords, but I basically kind of placed it in this box and brought it up here. This is Raspberry Pi 5, which I'll explain more about this in a moment, and a little $30 travel router, which I'll explain that as well. Basically, the Pi will be the controller for the Seestar, because you can control the Seestar with an app. With your phone, but obviously that's kind of not straightforward to do remotely. Like, it's got to be on the same network as the Seestar, and although there might be a way around it, but effectively it's got to be on the same network. And so oh hey, hello on the new laptop, cool, awesome. But basically, if you so what a lot of other people are doing is they have a Mac Mini running on their, let me check something here real quick. They have a Mac Mini running on their, or they send a Mac Mini, and they run the Seestar app, which I sometimes run locally on my computer. They run that on the Mac, and then they remote into the computer. But I'm going to be running ALP, so I'm going to be, which is what I usually, when I'm live streaming, that's what I typically use, and so I'm going to be running it on a Raspberry Pi, which I often do use on the stream as well. Not as often as when I run it locally. one of the other things that some people end up sending, and I'm going to send one. This is a surge suppressor, but it's a smart surge suppressor. So it has Ethernet, and I mean, it's like, I think it was like $30, I think, on Amazon, and you can control it with an app. The idea is that, like I said, you can have them restart stuff for you remotely, but like there could be delay, they might be busy, but with a smart switch like this, they'll configure it on their network, and then you can basically, if the Raspberry Pi stops responding, I can power cycle it remotely, which is kind of cool. So a lot of people use those. I figured I would, I actually have another one of these that I'd use for a little home automation type stuff, but anyway, so that is one of the things that is going. Let me set this up here. Unfortunately, at one point I had the ability to have a camera looking down, but unfortunately I don't have that set up, so we'll have to make do. Yeah, it's kind of it's the kind of thing you don't necessarily think about, but it makes a lot of sense. Especially, I mean, it used to be that like remote control power was just like really expensive, but now, like with the smart switches, they're fairly inexpensive. Trying not to jostle anything. I basically have this Amazon box with some foam in the bottom. That's not its final configuration, but it was at least to get it from downstairs to up here. A couple USB cables I'm sending along, or bringing along. They'll be used to charge the Seestar, but the Seestar will be wirelessly connected to the hotspot, or the travel router, and the Pi, so it'll be wirelessly copying data off. That's one of the things I'm also going to do on the stream. I'm going to clear off my Raspberry Pi. Yeah, that so the monthly charge does cover all those, the power, the internet, plus the building. Let me switch over. Sorry, it's super awkward. Normally it's not this awkward, but I normally don't have a box sitting right off camera here. But so Starfront, I'm just waiting for it to kind of cycle through the initial section. These are some photos that people have taken from there. But yeah, so you can see it's like out in the Texas kind of plains, and see, these are the buildings. They have roll-off roofs. See, they have, like, I think there's a few hundred telescopes out there now. At sunset they roll off the roofs if the conditions warrant it, and then yeah, so that's kind of how it so that kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. And so yeah, they, like I say, the power, internet, they have a VPN, but I don't know if it's per customer or if it's a shared VPN. But basically the way I have it configured with the travel router and the Pi and the Seestar will be behind kind of this travel router. So effectively I'm kind of have my own little, I'll have my own little subnet there. But yeah, they accommodate different sizes of telescopes, and they have a bunch of videos about it, and there's a number of there's quite a few people who have scopes out there, but it's neat. But yeah, this is where I will be driving tomorrow. Yeah. I'm not a. I don't know if how much they said, um, how much they can do hands-on. Um, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I forget. I forget what they said, but they do say that's part of the fee is to be able to do certain things. But you know, because they've got like other scopes, but the idea is to try to. I mean, my goal is to have to involve them as little as possible, just to be able to control what I need to control remotely. I also have the Raspberry Pi. They have a feature called a watchdog timer on it, where if the OS kind of it's like a hardware and software thing. So if the OS kind of gets in a hung state, it'll reboot the computer automatically. And I turned that on. I've done that on some of my Pis that I try to like run all the time, and I don't want to think about and make sure I don't want them to ever end up locking up and staying kind of locked up. So NGC 4814. I'll have to check that out. I'm just kind of curious. 4814. Oh yeah, nice. It's a nice spiral galaxy. Although for some reason I'm looking at a foreign language version of Wikipedia, but that looks cool. Yeah, I'm not going to send a USB keyboard or mouse, mostly because there's not that much room on the pier, I think. At least when I've done my tests, and I'll do a final test here tonight on live. Ideally, I just boot it up, it goes onto the network, and then I can get into it remotely. I'm not going to bring that comment on streams, Cosmic Ray, but it's not it's not a an ad. It's just their website. They have one of those kind of hero things, and this is not an ad. This is just me doing my final preparations. Are you going to have a USB backup drive on the Pi? No. Basically, I've got a. Let me disconnect this so I can. And actually, what I need to do is see if I can even use it without this. But I have a. So the Pi is underneath here. I'm going to try it without this. See if it works correctly without it. So the Pi's underneath here, and this is a NVMe hat. So it's got a 500 gig, not meg, SSD on it. And so I'll be, and that's the boot drive too. So I'll be copying the images off the Raspberry Pi, off the Seestar onto here, but then syncing it back to my network. I haven't done it yet, but I might connect it to like some cloud storage, maybe my Google Drive, and then just upload photos there. The Swan Nebula. Yeah, so the data gets from the Seestar to Houston. So it's going to go, since Alp's going to be controlling it locally. And this is the Raspberry Pi that I've used where I actually have it attached to, basically I have it mounting the, attaching the Seestar drive, because like it exports itself as a file server. I have it just like all the time, a drive on here, like /Seestar. And so it just looks like a local volume on the Raspberry Pi. So as I'm imaging, I had, when I was doing kind of the live stacking, what I was doing is I had a job running that was just kind of R-syncing stuff off the Pi. And so that's probably what I'm going to be doing. I'll probably automate it somehow. Like I say, I haven't decided if I'm going to pull the data directly to, home, or if I'm going to, copy it to a Google Drive and then kind of pull it from Google Drive. I'll probably copy it locally because it's going to be on a VPN, It's going to be on tail scale, so I should be able to rsync directly from it onto my whatever computer I have here, even my NAS. Anyway, so the USB will be to charge the Seestar, and I have a power brick for the USB power, and almost done. And then I can get this box out of the way. Here is, I was showing you the Raspberry Pi, just kind of a bare Raspberry Pi. I'm not going to send that to them directly. I actually have a case for it that I'm probably going to assemble tonight because I need to do it. And let me try to do this without dropping the Seestar. I'm gonna stand up because I'm not in a position where I want to drop this Seestar, and especially since I'm about to ship it off. Okay. All right. Give me a sec. The reason it was a little awkward is now I can actually see the screen here. Oops, wrong one. That was awkward. Okay. I actually have, I'm going to use it in equatorial mode, so I have a wedge on it. So let me remove the wedge. So basically it's going to be bolted. It's going to be bolted to the pier like here, and because of the low latitude we're at, it's going to be pointing pretty sideways. I had this pretty cranked down because I didn't want it to fall. Okay. I don't need another reaction of me dropping a Seestar. And don't forget to like the video. I see that there's a number of people watching. Oops, sorry about that. So yeah, this is a Seestar. This is it. I'm also another thing I'm going to do on the stream is I am going to clear it off because I haven't done that yet. So this is both an opportunity for me to show what I'm sending, but also for me to do all the last minute things that I hadn't gotten to yet. So move this out of the way. And I'm just kind of shuffling some things around here. Oh. Okay. Let's look at the chat. Make your screen big. Yeah. Hopefully this is okay. Let's see. Looks like a saw blade. I'll have to check that out. I think this is okay, right? This is what you want, like going back to just the full camera. Yeah, clear it off by his tail scale. Well, what I need, that's true. I could try that. Although it won't be, the problem is tail scale does try to optimize copying. Like because it would be kind of in local, even though it would be a different subnet, it would still be kind of decent performance. Wouldn't be quite as, it wouldn't be like it's going to be when it's remote. Yeah. Oh, polar line. Yeah, let me get to that in a bit. After yeah. Well, why if it's in the habitable zone but not habitable, it's because I believe the problem is it just was too small, so it wasn't able to hold on to its atmosphere. I think ultimately that's the issue. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll try that. So let me. What should I do first? You know, the first thing I might do is I haven't actually checked out this Raspberry Pi case. I have another one just in case this doesn't work out. Yeah, if the moon had, although you know it could have, if the moon were big enough to have held onto its atmosphere, it would have caused bigger tides, which might have, like, if it was as close as it is now, it would have caused bigger tides, and it could have made Earth worse. Um, as far as if you had two big planets near each other, they could be tidally locked to each other, and so instead of us having a 24-hour day, like the moon has a month-long day, like Earth could have had the same thing, which could have interfered with a lot of stuff. Yeah, that too. No magnetic field. So yeah, like it's all trade-offs. um, so basically, I got a case. I might. Basically, the reason I wanted to try to put it in the case before I do a test is because if I it this this Pi has this little ribbon cable here that connects. It's a PCI Express cable. Basically, it's an extension of the bus, and if it gets, I've found that I've jostled it a little bit and loosened it a bit, and it lost its connection. I redid it, and now it seems stable, but I'm afraid that if I put it in here, so I'm going to put it in first real quick, or I'm going to try, and then power it up, just so we can make sure everything, so I can make sure everything's fine. Oh man, this might take longer than I expected. Well, let me try. I forgot it also has a heatsink on it. This might take longer than I expected. Maybe I'll do that after the stream. That's fine. So I'm going to set this aside because I'm going to have to disassemble this and to get the heatsink on, because the heatsink that it came with has to go in between here. Like, it has to go on this motherboard down in here. So I'll do that later. Or I'll do it, if I do it on the stream, I'll do it towards the end. Oh, don't want to put the Pi over there. So what I'm going to do is do a kind of a dry run here. I've got the travel router, which this is actually the same brand that I already use. The one that where I have, you know, I had mentioned that I have like a dedicated access point that all the telescopes connect to. So the two Seestars and the mini PC, and I do it to kind of avoid interference. And well, initially I did it to kind of isolate it, but then I ended up moving it downstairs so I get better connectivity. Anyway, so this is it's a GL iNet is the brand, and I have a this is like a lower end model, but the Wi-Fi in the on the Seestar isn't particularly high performance, so it should suffice. So let me hook this up. And I may end up tidying up some of the cables while I'm at it, since I have the Velcro up here. Just trying to not knock anything off the off the desk. Don't want to, when you're about to like drive something somewhere, you don't want to break it before you go. That would be bad. All right. So I've got need to figure out the best way to plug this thing in without knocking everything over. All right. So one thing that is kind of interesting about, or one thing I like about these smart power strips, you don't have to use you can use an app for it, and then they also, at least the other one I have is controllable by like Home Assistant, which is open source, and some of the other kind of home automation programs, but you don't have to use it. It still has like individual buttons here, so you can turn on or off each outlet manually. So I've got that, and I have definitely got to tidy up these cables. Let me, I should do that ASMR telescope work. That was too loud. But like, got the Velcro. Right. I buy this stuff in bulk to help organize cables. I'm just gonna since I have limited space on this desk, just gonna also, since I'm throwing it in a box, I need to bundle this up. It was sitting downstairs when I had done the initial setup, and when I was running it last night, that's why it was downstairs. So I brought it up here to test out and clean up. Where was the other one? Okay, saw I had a second one. Anywho, all right, good enough. All right, so we'll plug this in, and travel router is plugged in. It is starting up. Oh, and I have here let me see if I can do this. I have Ethernet cable that's plugged in, so this is going to simulate like the cable at Starfront. So all right, so we've got that. And okay, so we'll do a full test. So here's the Pi. Where did I put the power supply for that? The power supply is here. And let me bundle up that cord, because it's, and especially, like I say, this is, I mean, they'll redo the cables when it gets to Starfront, but or at Starfront, but I just, at least for transportation, since I'm not shipping it, I'm just having it in this box with some foam. And hopefully I won't bounce it around too much. I should probably do, I've thought about doing a video like this. Again, might be members only, or just kind of an unlisted video when I get the autofocuser set up on the refractor. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, but the weather still looks like it's good for this weekend, or for Sunday, so I'm hoping to do that planetary live stream, or the two-part planetary live stream. At least that's the hope. So I just kind of tidied it up a little bit. So the Pi, this is a Pi 5. It's got 2 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2 ports, and a gigabit Ethernet. This gigabit Ethernet will be plugged into the travel router. So the Raspberry Pi's Wi-Fi will not be used at all. It has Wi-Fi built in, but because it's going to be in a metal case, the reception might not be that good, which is why there's the travel router. The travel router, I could have probably gotten it working with this, but basically I was trying to reproduce the setup I already have at home, just for, so I'm not like trying to try out new things, you know, and then dropping it off several hundred miles away. That just seemed like a recipe for disaster. So this Ethernet is plugged into the travel router, so I'm just going to plug it in here, and then plug this in, and the power light's on, so it should be booting up. Just gonna set that to the side. One more thing, I have the Seestar itself, which one thing this quick release shoe, I mean it's a short Vixen plate. I kind of put it in a position where when the Seestar rotates, it won't hit these corners. At least that's the hope. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to take this off right now, just for, or maybe I just don't want it to tip over. Yeah, I'll undo it and I'll redo it later. So I'll put this there, and okay, I'm just trying to figure out the orientation of it, and I'm going to undo this USB cable. And again, this is going to be a full test. This is what you're seeing here is what it should be set up exactly at Seestar. All the pieces. I plugged the power here. I'm going to plug it into here, and okay. So, is it charging? Yep. You can see the lights on here, and so I'm gonna turn it on without hopefully blasting the microphone. Okay. So, all right. So I've got it again. Travel router, Raspberry Pi, power strip, Seestar plugged into USB. So I have three. Can I bring this up? I have three things plugged into this power strip, and it has 3 outlets. Things make a loud noise. Luckily, I have the talking turned off, so it doesn't. At least that doesn't blast us. Oh, what in the world? This is annoying. I'm like, I had to refresh the chat. Okay. Could hot glue the connector down. Yeah. Hello, Benji. What power supply? Yeah, it's a. I think it's the 5 amp. It's the official Pi 5 power supply, and I only did that because I have. Well, it was the first Pi 5 I bought, and usually when a lot of times I've bought the official power supplies because they're not like that much more expensive, but they're, at least I know they're stable. Yeah, so people using the Wi-Fi, I don't think people are supposed to use, oh, using Wi-Fi, channel separation. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I was thinking it probably does get a bit cluttered there. I mean, mine is going to be over a fairly short range. Got a roll of duct tape to take along. Yeah, I should do that. Let me make a note of that. I have a list of all the things I'm going to be taking. Actually, I have gaffer tape, so I'll bring that along. Yeah, maybe I should do gaming. You know, it's funny. I wouldn't necessarily do it on this channel, but I do have kind of my other channel, or I have a couple other channels that I haven't used much, but I have kind of a more one that I've wanted to do more tech type stuff, and I've thought about doing some gaming there. TP-Link has a Python library for the power switch. That's cool. That's good to know. Use the orange 50-foot test. Yeah, I need to test it. Oh, Python Casa. Okay, that's good to know. How are you editing the stream without editing? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, if you're talking about my stream, I'm just using OBS. So the stuff, the photos I've seen, they have the stuff attached to the pier, or like, yeah, basically attached to the pier. Yeah, my chat was not working. I ended up reloading the tab because I'm like, people are strangely quiet today. And it's like, it was me. Yeah, sorry. What is on your list so far? Sandwiches. Hello, Cheap Astro. How's it going? What's on my list so far? I'm not sure. Are you talking about for tomorrow? Probably burgers or something. I'm gonna have an energy drink to for the caffeine. So this should actually all theoretically be up and running. So this will be a great test. Like, I basically just plugged it all in. Tape over the white router. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me make note of that. I think I actually have red tape. But like, let me see, tape over power lights. Although I have a feeling they have tape for people who like ship stuff and don't black out the stuff. But I made a note, so I'll do that. All right, let me verify. So this will be a test here. I'll do this on screen, so you'll see if it works as soon as I do. Let's switch over here. And why is this? I have this terminal, and it acts all wonky with moving. Hold on. Come on. Why isn't this? Give me a sec here. Okay, hold on. Dang it. Give me a sec here, sorry. Okay, let's try this again, see if this works. Nope. Quit, restart. Okay, cool, great. That was painful. Okay. Let me check the yeah. I mean, that does happen sometimes. They get warm. Yeah, IP camera. I thought about it, like, oops, sorry. I have I have this Pi camera, and I had thought about kind of attaching it to the case, but I don't have anything to kind of protect the circuit board here. So I'm not sending it. I might send one later, but I'm not sending it. A lot of people have peer cameras. Find SpongeBob, and you got SpongeBob. Yeah. Okay, so let us try. So I am on a different network, like the Pi 5 is located behind a it's located behind the travel router, so theoretically I can't get to it. Let me try something. Let me do something here real quick. There's a reason for that, because the last few times I've done this. Oh, sorry. I ran it and it like immediately connected. Let me minimize that. Oh, here's Steven's view of New Zealand. Let me bring this over here. Yeah, so it just worked. I was able to log in. So let me go see if CTL status Seestar. The service is running. Now is it connected? So let me bring back the browser here. And the name of the computer is Electra. And it's thinking. It says dev not connected. Should be connected. This is a good test. Let's restart that. Maybe it connect. Yeah, it connected. Boom. Okay. Okay, so I just restarted ALP and it sees the Seestar. I set up static IPs ahead of time. And set the IP, and so now I can go, yeah, so free storage is 11 gig. I need to fix that, and I can, let's see, actually what I can do is, let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna run the startup sequence here. I'm going to switch back to the other view before I hit go. Oops. So here's the Seestar. So I'm going to just click raise arm, and it should do something. Up. Here we go. Great. Nice. Okay. So we are good. And I can go, if I switch back, I've got live view. I switched to live view while it was opening. Whoa. Okay, so that's done. So that worked. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I need to I mean, the one thing that at least they do have a like their own sky camera. Like it won't help view mine, but at least I could bring up a sky camera view just to see what the weather's like. I guess there's. I think tomorrow evening's supposed to be good out there. Um, the Rhine Nebula. No, that's cool. That's cool. I know how. Did you change the file? No, I didn't. But I think there was a change. There was a change to the code. I think that fixed one of the issue that you ran into. I was going to make a fix and then someone else fixed it. Um, yeah, just about. Yeah, don't forget to like the video. What IP will they assign? I don't know. I'm not sure. The good news is because I'm running this I'm running Tailscale and it's kind of an overlay network. So long as it can connect to the internet, it registers like it connects to the VPN and then I can get to it. So um, so it's but that said, they do offer static IP services. Um, I haven't I didn't request that, but you can request a static IP, and then you'll have a fixed IP that they can that you can connect to. Driving games are terrible. Beaming Drive. I still need to check that out. Yeah, I mean, Bortle 4.5 is well infinitely better. I mean, it's a lot better than what I have. You can do a lot with Portal 4.5. Um, okay, so this it all powered up. Um, so really, what I need to do now is, like Seiko was saying, I should try clearing off this, clearing off this. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, and sometimes depending on where you are, certain directions might be darker than others. Like if you're imaging towards the city, it might be a little worse than if you're imaging away. Can't see the Milky Way. Yeah, yeah. Test you can log into the router. So that was interesting. So that was the thing. Let me, because the router isn't reachable. This will be the next thing to check. Um, if I can connect via VNC. So I just connected by VNC to the Tailscale address and it brought up the desktop. So I can bring up do I have the password here? Yeah, so I'm able to get into the router web interface, so that's good. Yeah. Can you mount the Seestar to the Pi? Yeah, no, I mean, I could mount it, but I think that's the Pi and the travel router. I think will be connected to the pier, so below the below the Seestar. Well, probably more Pi on Seestar, but yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna. I figure it's probably just gonna be attached to the pier. Um, Yeah, I mean the photos. I don't have one handy, but one of the screenshots I had seen that it looked like that's how they had them set up. Um, so yeah, I've got it. Well, actually, let me double check the web interface here. Um, uh, stats, and okay. Charge status full, 100%. Okay, cool. So I think I'm good there. Auto power off, heater falls. Now, the only thing that I need to figure out is, like, the Pi has a hard time, I mean, the Seestar has a hard time charging if the weather gets too cold. And I mean, we're heading out of winter, but from what I think it'll be fine, but go, like, if I were to run it over winter, next winter, I think I might have to do something. I saw somebody had posted a photo where they had put a dew heater. They'd wrapped a dew heater kind of around around this part of the Seestar. Kind of like, actually, I think Dane does that with who lives in Wisconsin. He does that because he just to keep it so it'll charge. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, because I'm not used to Bortle 1, I sometimes find it very disorienting. Bortle 4 is fine, but it's not writing. Yeah. Mount the Seestar drive. Yeah, let me go do that. Main code for the Seestar, yep. Yeah. Oh, right. Well, then that shouldn't be a problem because I plan on keeping it on power plugged in all the time. So let me go. So this is logged in to the. Let me increase the size of this. Okay, so I'm logged into the. This is a misnomer because I'm not logged into the All Sky. Okay, so let me see. Let me see. I have. Okay, this is the command. So basically, I mount it. This is the Unix command. Oh, no, wrong. The IP address is different. This was the old. This is the old IP address, so it's 142. 155. I could come up with an alias in the host file if I really wanted to, but I'm not. Is that right? Okay. So this is just the Unix command to attach. I mean, like, on a Windows and Mac, it's so much simpler, but it's fine when you get used to it. It's read write, guest mode, version 1 of the protocol, yada, yada, yada. Hit return. And so the Pi is talking to the Seestar here. And yeah, so it's now looking at the, it's now treating it like it's a local drive. Cool. Yeah, no, Bortle 5 is great. I mean, I was thinking growing up, I may have only had like a Bortle 6 or 7 here. Yeah, no, I never figured that out. I think the problem is I just ran out of time. I might do some experiments with my other Seestar. Kind of like, what is it, where they, when you send a probe into deep space and they have like a duplicate probe on Earth so they can run experiments on it and make sure, you know, if the remote one misbehaves, they can try to reproduce the problem. That's like me, except with Seestars. Oops. Okay, that's just going to take a while to do that, but yeah. So let me. let's see. Okay, so I'm going to, do I want to do that? I'll do it. I'll do it just because it's going to be the whole lot and I've got plenty of space. So I'm basically going to copy everything off the Seestar onto the local drive. And we'll see how long that takes. So theoretically, the performance should be reasonable because it's close and it's about, this will probably be about the performance I'll see. Now, one of the things I plan on being better about clearing it off when I copy data down, and I'm probably going to do some automation around it where when an imaging session kind of ends, it'll copy things off, and so it'll always kind of it won't have to copy that much because it'll just kind of copy the latest stuff. How did you know the IP of the Seestar? So the travel router, when I went to, let's see, VNC viewer. Okay, so when I went to the travel router, and I reconfigured the Seestar to connect to the travel router's access point, I created a new wireless called Air1 or some variation of that. And let's see. Yeah, so when I connected, I just went into clients and saw what the IP was. And I ended up going in to network, LAN, and then there you can add a reserved IP and it'll have all the devices it's seen. And so I saw the one that said Seestar, and I basically just had it remember the IP that it had. So it'll always be the same IP going forward. So that way I don't have to go by host name. So if there's something wonky with like MDNS, which shouldn't be a problem, but at least I can rule that out as a problem, you know. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Could just do that. But yeah, that's basically all I did. I kind of assigned a static IP. I mean, it basically it came up with IPs, but then I went ahead and just made them static so they won't change. And then I just took that IP and put it in my config, which I had already been running ALP on this Raspberry Pi. Like sometimes when I do a stream and I wasn't running on my PC, but I was running on a Pi, that it's the same Pi that I was using. Yeah, scheduled. And actually, I've done a bit of a test with that. So there's a new feature that was added to ALP where when certain events happen or certain internal ALP events happen, so either Seestar events or ALP events, you can configure a shell script or a Python script. And I actually wrote a little prototype where when you stop imaging, there's a specific event that gets sent. And I take that event and it also sends you the file name. And so I created a script that actually grabs the image and it posts it to Discord. It posted it to like a testing Discord channel I have, but it excuse me, it worked. And so I'm planning on doing something like that going forward. But yeah, something like that would be ideal, because then at least as it finishes a given target, it just grabs what it needs to for that specific target. And so I'm not like copying a massive amount of data every time. Oh, that's cool. Went to Bortle 3 on accident. I mean, that's a nice accident where you end up seeing the Milky Way. That's cool. So this might take a while, but that's okay. I'll leave it running. And what else did I want to do? let me look at my notes of what I was planning on doing tonight. Um, yeah, yeah, I need to do something like that. Um, I mean, the one good thing is that I'll be forced basically to do something like this, um, just out of necessity. Um, I'm not sure when this will get set up, because I'd seen some stuff where, like, if there's a backlog, like if they have a bunch of other telescopes to set up that are, you know, uh, where they may have had the telescope already um, at at um, Starfront. They might have had it for a few days, uh, so I'm not sure. Well, but as soon as it's online and it's clear, I'm definitely going to be doing a live stream with that. It probably won't be my next live stream because that's going to be local, but as soon as it's clear, I definitely will. And the good thing is, once they get it set up, even if it's not clear, once they set it up, I can start, testing out some of the scripting and synchronizing stuff. Let me look at my notes here. So I have a bunch of stuff of like make sure I have in the car, transfer data off. Okay. All right. I'm just going over my checklist. I always, whenever I've traveled, I'm not like a super, kind of regimented person, but just because I don't want to forget things and kind of, the excitement of whatever. As I think of things, I'll put it on a kind of a list, and I'll put it on a date, the date that I'm traveling or the day before. And so then I just can kind of go through and check off things like, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. And inevitably there'll be like one or two items that I may have slipped my mind, but I put on the list. And so I'm like, oh, okay. I'm looking at all the things. Yeah, they do recommend labeling things, which we'll see. We'll see if I get to that before I leave. Whistle so loud it is. Yeah. A checklist when you go camping. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to forget something. You don't want to get out somewhere and realize you left a cable or power or something. I mean, going out there next weekend, this fixes stuff. I sure hope not. I really hope not. That's why this is actually the second time. I mean, what I was trying to do is not do anything that I haven't done before. Like I could have run probably without the travel router, but that's not how I run at home. So I was like, let me do it the same way. The Pi 5 here is one I've been running at home for weeks, months, a few weeks, at least since December, maybe earlier. Like basically everything is kind of well-worn path as far as things I've done. So I was trying not to do anything to just to try to minimize that. Like I say, I could have probably done with less, but on the other hand, like some people, they'll send out a Mac Mini, and this is still like a fairly. I mean, a lot of it was stuff I already had. I had the Pi 5. Didn't have the travel router, but that was cheap. It was $30, I think, and the surge suppressor was. I have the same model that I've been using for like over a year, so I just got a smaller one that just happened to be on sale on Amazon, I think, for $20, and everything else I had. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but let me just see what's going on here. It's still copying. Cool. Not sure why this did that, but scenery mode. That's true. That's true. That's a good point. I may not have an all sky camera, but with scenery mode, I could, when it was daylight, I I could point it and look at stuff. I hadn't thought of that. I like that. Oh yeah, yeah. Forgotten a tripod or a battery. Yeah, yeah. I hate that when that happens. When you break a camera or telescope, um, I think it's one of those things where the first time you mess something up is the worst. I mean, it's never great, but I've broken. I think I mentioned this before. The worst camera gear I ever um, wrecked. I was sitting on a rock by the ocean, and it was dry. The rock was dry, and I was taking photos of the waves kind of crashing against the rocks. And a particularly vigorous wave hit the rock, and the water came up over my head and and drenched me. Uh, and The camera I was holding, it was a film camera, and I guess after that happened, I went ahead and opened it up, and there was water, salt water inside it in the on the roll of film. And when I got back home, and anyway, the camera was totaled. Salt water and electronics are not a good combination. Um, Power the Seestar off the Pi. Yeah, I mean, like I thought about that, but again, I think it was more about like not wanting to try out anything new. Um, so yeah, I mean, I might test out things locally, and if it works out, um, if I can do what I need to do locally, I mean, with the local C Star and kind of testing it out, I could tell them to like reconfigure things, because that's part of the thing. And I think I had read somewhere that like when people first get set up, they tend to have to do more for the people while they're getting set up, because like maybe they set it up and then the person forgot a detail, and then then the staff at Starfront have to like do something, and then but then once then it settles down. So there's gonna I have some thoughts on some things I want to test out, but I'm not gonna. Again, I if I would have had more time to test out things locally, and if I would have had more clear weather to test out things, that was the other thing. I wanted like only things that I had actually tested under actual, clear sky conditions. I didn't want to risk it, because I don't want to have to drive out next weekend or get on the phone and try to explain stuff. Yeah, think of everything they might have to do with the Pi. Yeah, I mean, the one good thing is, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, worst comes to worst, if there's a problem with the Pi, the other thought I had is I could mail them another Pi. Like that's easy. Yeah, okay, yeah, USB off the Pi is crap. Yeah, it might be the first running off a Pi. Based on what I talked with them, mine is going to be the first one, the first Sea Star in equatorial mode. And yeah, just talking to the other people, none of them run Alp either. So I'm really going to be blazing a trail here. Yeah, salt water. It 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 did upset me. It did upset me. I was very unhappy. It wasn't just a. Plus, it was for those into photography. It was a medium format camera, so it wasn't a cheap camera. Uh, they put the kid in live stream. Let me see. Let me see. Um, uh, Let me see. Live streams. Oh, I remember this. I remember this. This was hilarious. It was the first, or hilarious, not hilarious. I think it was like the first iPhone 6 sold in the world, because it was at an Apple store in Australia, and where the person was like showing it. They dropped. That is so bad. That is terrible. Oh my god, that was awful. That's rough. Yeah. Yeah, that was yeah. Oh, yikes. Alex 200, that would be bad. 1,000 pings on Discord by your chatty friends. Yeah, I know how that can be sometimes. I don't know why this thing is uh hopefully I'm not like breaking it. It's still copying though, so maybe I'm just. Oh yeah, you know what? That's something. I mean, I run into this issue too. I'm copying such a massive amount of data off the Seestar that it's saturating the network for the Seestar, and it's just the Seestar is not. It doesn't have like this. At least the Seestar S50 doesn't have the strongest Wi-Fi, and I think that's the problem it's having. Yeah, see, it's complaining about slow response. Yeah, read timeout. I'm just going to shut off Alp. I mean, the good thing is, again, I've run it like this many times, so it usually just restarting Alp is sufficient to fix it. So, how much have I copied off? Only a gig. Yeah, so, but this is like worst case scenario. This would not be the case most of the time. Yeah, they had to cheap out. Yeah, and although it was kind of surprising to me when I was looking at the Wi-Fi signal off the Seestar, it was like Wi-Fi 4, I think. Um, so, but I mean, for the most part, it's okay. I mean, it's okay. But that also explains why sometimes when you're like it definitely seems like you run into some issues when you're having when you're like watching live video, even with the Seestar itself. Like I've found that if I try to go to the network drive, it like I'll get timeouts even like from a Mac. Looking on Amazon, and there's a lot there. Okay, so everything seems to be in order. Let me look at my list, see if there's anything else I need to kick off tonight. I've got the cable. I need to test that Ethernet cable. I'm not gonna unplug that, so I'll test that off before I pack it up. I'm bringing a 360 camera I have, so can record stuff. It's a camera I've had for a while. I should clear that off as well. Let's see. Yeah, the main thing I need to do is before is I need to set up this or put together this put the Pi in its case. So I need to take a look at this. Yeah, 360 cameras are cool. I'm not necessarily going to do it at this instant just because I have to shut that thing down to the Pi to get this set up. Came with a little power, I mean a little, what do you call it? Oops. A little fan. So just a little cooler for the CPU. Hopefully this is thin enough. Yeah. That'll fit. And then it's got some standoffs and other little bits and bots. Let's see, just looking around, making sure that there's nothing I'm forgetting. But that's basically it. It's, like I say, the only complexity for me is the travel router. Yeah, the travel router with, and that's just for kind of simplicity's sake, or just trying to make it exactly the same as what I have at home. Making sure that the Wi-Fi is more stable than if I were to run it purely on the Pi. But one thing I was thinking about is if I were to send like the refractor to what do you call it, to Starfront, I wouldn't use like a mini a travel router or anything else. I'd have the mini PC and just have them plug the Ethernet into that, and then everything would be on the mini PC that's connected to the telescope. Yeah, check that the power cycle works, yeah. Well, and the other thing that I did confirm, at least, that when it gets power, everything comes up automatically. So it's not like a PC or something where it may not automatically power on by default when it regains power. So yeah, take the 120 for a peer cam. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, actually, I mean the Pi is set to. I have it. It auto powers on when it gets power. It boots up. So I did verify that because I didn't turn anything on once I plugged it into the power strip. Everything came on. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I should make note of that. I'll make note of that on the instructions. Although I think what happens is if I don't end up talking, if I don't end up opening a ticket, yeah, I need to think about this. If I don't open it, sorry, if I don't talk to the people that are going to do the installation, for whatever reason tomorrow, I had seen they said like if you mail stuff to them, you can, as part of their onboarding, you can open up they have a ticket system, and so you can open up a ticket and you put instructions in there if there's something that they need to be aware of. So that's something I need to, I made note of that, so I'll relay to them one way or another that information. Because yeah, that's a little kind of non-obvious, especially because they haven't done this before. I mean, with the Seestar, so this is kind of a new thing. I'm just kind of scoping out everything I'm running right now. Yeah, getting them to pull their line could be fun. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, my plan is to, yeah, it's up and down. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's different. It's going to be different, but we'll see. One thing I didn't have in this box that I opened, that I brought up here, but I have in a box that I'm taking with me. And I am going to take it with me because I put my caffeine in there, so I'm not going to forget that box. But on the bottom of this of this plate, or the plate has, you know, takes the standard 3/8 inch screws. I'm taking like a bag of different bolts and screws because they were saying ideally if I had like a 3/8 inch kind of bolt for mounting to a plate, they said to send it along. They said it wasn't necessary, but they said it would be helpful if I did. So yeah, I have a bag of bolts from telescope related bolts that I'm bringing along. So yeah, so that's this. Um, and I like this. It's too bad I wasn't able to use this more after I got it, because I was been using a Skywatcher wedge, but I recently got this one, and yeah, it's unfortunate I wasn't able to actually use it more locally, but it'll get plenty of use at Starfront. Um, have the have it on the wedge to start up should be fine tuning. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, I had it when I pulled it out of the box. The wedge was attached to it, and I'm gonna like the angle is close because it's set to my latitude, and they're like a degree off from me. So that's the thing. Tail scale on the travel router. Turns out this model travel router, I didn't see an option for that. Um, my other one, I could install it through a package, but this one only was like WireGuard, raw WireGuard. Um, but I'm able to get to it from the Pi. So I'll probably figure something out, but I might do it after the fact. Yes, I'm not going to set it up. Starfront does that. They do the wire management, everything. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't imagine they would want. I mean, especially, I mean, it's one thing with Seestars, but there's some people who have like, I mean, I don't know if they have any plane waves out there, but I saw some stuff like some things that looked like bigger RC telescopes. Yeah, cable ties, Velcro ties. Yeah, I have like, I have a bundle of Velcro, so that's going along. Um, yeah, I'm just looking around, trying to make sure there isn't anything else. I think that's it. I mean, the good thing is it's a relatively simple setup. It's not like, you know, a setup where you have like a camera and a guide camera and heaters and like a DC bus to like power everything. It's relatively simple. It's 3 plugs, surge suppressor, Ethernet cables. Yeah, yeah, dual browser. Yeah, crack pipe. Not this time. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I know some of the hosting services um, have that, where you can go out and visit your scope and fiddle with it, but I don't know what their what kind of uh, how common that is, or if that's something they do. Um, but for my purposes, I think like I'm far enough away that um, yeah, I'm not planning on going out there very often. The only thing I would consider going out there again for is maybe to take another telescope out there. But we'll see. It all depends on how well this one goes. Hopefully it'll go smoothly. Yeah, not rotate, yeah. Um, well, I don't have to worry about packing it for transportation, so I know what shape it's going to arrive in. But also some of it was it's it's close enough. Like it's basically a day trip. I'll be out there and back tomorrow. And plus it gives me a chance to actually check it out. I'm going to do a video of it, you know, just I mean, that's more the thing. I want to see go there, astrotourism, as it were. I want to see it for myself and check it out. So yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Check that the lens is clean. I need to do that. Make a note of that. I did bring I did in the other box, the one that I definitely will be bringing. I threw some lens cleaner wipes in there, which actually, okay. I'm also bringing tools in case I have to redo anything. But this is like an iFixit kit, and I'm going to use that for assembling the case. But I had like this, video adapter cable with this dummy HDMI plug on it, and I wasn't 100% sure if the VNs if that would cause issues not having that on there, and it didn't cause any issues, so that's good. Yeah, steel wool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. I'll probably do that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was part of it. I just want to kind of see it. I mean, you saw the video. It looks interesting, and you know, let's see. And if they get it set up and it's not clear, and I have a live stream, I'll make sure to show, hey, it's running. I'm able to see it. Maybe I get the Seestar and point it around inside in scenery mode. It's like, hey, um, that would be funny. Let me look. Yeah, sorry. Is there visiting hours? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I mean, I know for drop off, they said they prefer it on the weekend during the day. So I don't know what generally. And I was thinking that they probably don't want people coming and going because, like, if you came in with like headlights and stuff at night, I don't imagine that would go over very well. I mean, the buildings are high enough, but if you had like a big truck, that could be a problem. um, Although I mean, I know the building blocks a certain amount of it, but still, if somebody's like driving on the property with a lot of light, probably not ideal. Yeah, yeah, I imagine. Oh, that's where this is. I have like a little short Velcro here. But yeah, I'm gonna be heading out. Not like super early, but like probably 7 or 8 in the morning tomorrow. Um, I have full clean room soon. Yeah, um, that would be funny. But yeah, so far it's been transferring. I mean, considering I think it's like transferring 40 gig, which I would not be imaging that much in a night. So it seems to be, yeah, like this is a particularly pathological case. Okay, thanks for joining. Chat with you later. Thanks. Hello, Hein. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Just trying to think if what else there is. Like I say, I'm probably gonna do some kind of video message or something, but I'm gonna be videoing in general. Like one of the things I'm doing off camera here is I'm charging some some batteries for my, like extra batteries for my 360 camera, because they like burns through batteries like crazy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping with like the new hook support and the fact that the telescope's remote, and so I really have to be better about pulling stuff off onto my home network. Um, I think it'll be better. I'm hoping. Compass calibration. You know what's interesting is I don't think so, because what I find interesting, because I so rarely run the app, I've found I found that it uh, like I'll just run Alp, it'll be great, it'll be fine, but then I'll try to run the app and it'll insist like you need to do a compass calibration, and I'm like, really? It's funny, I've been running for weeks without needing to. So I don't think it'll be a problem. I think once it's polar aligned, um, I think the compass won't matter. At least that's I based on my experience with Alp, I think that'll be the case. I sure hope so. What kind of 360? It's a Insta 360 X3, so not the current one, but like I think the current one's X4. It's an X3. I got it like over a year ago. It's just a tiny little, um, nothing too outrageous. But kind of cool for capturing stuff. You can so this is the USB cord that's powering the Seestar. Seestar's still open here. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I really like mine. I don't use it as much as I should, but yeah. Yeah. Seestar S50. Yeah, this is my S50. I'm just kind of, or one of my S50s, and I'm just kind of getting it together for with some of these other pieces like the travel router and the Raspberry Pi uh, to take up to Starfront tomorrow. I think this is charged. Let me. I'm gonna pull the battery out of this and make sure that the battery in it is charged. I also probably should pull the memory card out and make sure it's cleared off. You detect a recurring theme here of maybe I don't always clear off the cards. Okay. Did I put this in the right way? Nope. Okay. Plug that in. Alright. Okay, that's charging. Do you need something to make sure the cable stays plugged in? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's where the gaffer tape will come in handy. I don't know. Oh man, I'm gonna have to dump the stuff off here later. Dielectric grease. No. Although it is, I forgot I have like Kapton tape. Maybe I should bring Kapton tape. No, I'm not gonna bring Kapton tape. Huh. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Like, I actually, I was actually planning on making an all sky camera out of this, but what I ended up doing was uh, I don't think I will at this point, but I did actually install the all sky software on there, so it's actually on there. I just need to get a camera. So let me look at this camera. Let's go back to Let's see. Oh, wrong window. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cheap. I mean, all things considered. See, the only problem is, and this was the problem I had with this camera. It's got the ribbon cable. I was actually thinking of sending something that has a USB, just because, like, to get that cable on the board, they'd have to open the case, or I'd have to do it. So I was actually thinking of like a USB, but I need to look at this one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm trying to also not get too complicated. That is a good point, though. Let me take some photos of this setup. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but at least I'll be able to, you know, and I'll do a better photo of the Pi once I have the case on it. But then at least I'll have a photo where I can say this goes to this, because it's basically, it'll be 2 Ethernet and then USB power for the Seestar. So hopefully that won't be too bad. And actually, I need to let me make note of this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They have. I just, because it is a little different, I just want to make sure that I make things go as smoothly as possible. You know, just wanting to draw up a diagram. I'm not doing it. I'm not. Well, we'll see. It all depends. Yeah, the daughter board, the hat, the cooler is thin enough. It's a low profile cooler. Yeah, it's got clearance. I was pretty sure it has clearance, and it has clearance. Otherwise, that could be a problem. The good thing is I do have extenders if I need to, but I don't think I need to. Yeah, I'm just kind of checking out, kind of surveying everything, just hoping I'm not forgetting something, because that's always the worst thing, again, that I end up forgetting something. Yeah, so yeah, I think everything's kind of in order. I will, like I say, I'll do a brief video once I'm there. Yeah, spare cables. Yeah, I mean, as it is, I'm bringing 2 USB cables. How does the fan on the cooler work? I mean, there is some clearance, so it's gonna, and plus this case is pretty open. Like it's got a lot of holes in it. Like you can see, it's got a ton of holes here, and one's on the side and the bottom. So I think just with the fan helping move air, and it has like a kind of a wide contact area with the different chips on the Pi, I think it'll be fine. Yeah, that's true. Hopefully that's the hope. That's the hope. Plus, I have this video. I literally have this video. I can say, look at this minute marker on the YouTube video. Forgot about that. It's another advantage of doing this. I can go back and look at it and like, what did I do again? Like, especially if it's a few months from now, I'm like, what did I do? Not that it's that complicated, but at least there's no question about what I did. Or if I get like some head injury because I dropped a telescope on my head, you know, I'll still be able to look back at the video. um, I was gonna go shut off the Pi, and I'm like, I can't shut off the Pi. I mean the Seestar, because I'm copying stuff off of it. Oh man. You know what I might have to do? Might have to do something different here. Will they take its photos when it's set up? I'm guessing so, because I've seen some people post photos of their setup and changes that have been made to their setup, and so I presume the changes are being made by Starfront, and then they're sending the person the photo. Sorry, I'm redoing this copy here. I need to swap out my external SSD. Come on. There we go. So I have this. I have a lot of my, because I don't have room on my laptop. I'll copy stuff onto this external SSD, and then so let me go look at this. And it's Seestar. I'm gonna have to like name this something else. Okay, Seestar A. Oh right. Hold on. What is it? It's okay to here. How much is this going to copy over? Ooh. Oh. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Two-person checks. Yeah, exactly. But like I say, I'll have a duplicate one here that I can test out changes before I ask them to do it, kind of like they do with the deep space probes. Or yeah, so here's what I was doing before. Let me switch over to this view. What I was doing before is I was copying on the Pi, which is Electra, off the Seestar onto the local drive. But because I have because it just looks like a drive on the remote, I don't actually have to copy it onto the Pi. I can just grab it off, like rsync works over remote telescopes or remote devices, and I can go ahead and just copy directly off the Seestar volume on the Pi onto my laptop. So, and basically it won't have to copy everything off, because it should only copy the things that I haven't copied off yet, which shouldn't be as many. At least that's the hope. Otherwise, this could take a while. Oh yeah, no, the count's going down quickly. like it dropped. There's 25,000 possible files for it to evaluate, but it's already dropped like 4,000, and it's only copied 30 files. So, but this way, it's actually the interesting thing about doing it this way. I'm copying from the Seestar through the Raspberry Pi onto my laptop without actually having the data on the Raspberry Pi. It's just acting as kind of a conduit for copying the data. Do I really have the exact same setup? Close. Close. Yeah. They could see no problem. That would be funny. That would be really funny. Why am I wasting the time? It's because I'm too lazy to do the filter on it. And really the bulk of the time is on the fit files. I mean, other copy scripts I have are more strategic, and that's a good point. I need to make sure that the regular copy job I run doesn't grab the JPEGs, because that would be a waste. Yeah, so this seems to be progressing. And this is all stuff that I've imaged. Like this was from yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah, the 13th. This is stuff I imaged last night during my rather... I mean, really, I probably don't even need to copy some of this. It's just there's some other stuff that might be worth saving on here. But like that data from the GoldenEye cluster, there's probably not much to salvage from it since there were so many clouds last night. And the one thing that's good about doing it this way is the data is copied from the Seestar to the like the Pi is pulling the data off the Seestar, and I have it doing compression for the rsync, but the Pi itself is doing the compression, so it's Pi 5's relatively fast, and so then that should help with bandwidth. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see. Let's see if is that it? I always forget the rsync syntax. Like I have a script somewhere that I run for these kind of things. Okay, that was it. I just needed to exclude the JPEGs. And it's a much smaller count. So cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Do I run it? Yes, I run my Seestar polar aligned. Problems with the motor issue. No, I've heard people raise that question. I haven't run into any issues. That said, I haven't run it as much as some people have run it equatorial mode, but I've never heard of anybody having issues. Like Wiley's site, he runs it in equatorial mode all the time, and I haven't heard any issues. Yeah, and that's yeah, so that's another good point. Given that they're going to be coming out with first party support, I'm guessing that that they don't, like, I don't think they would do it if they thought the hardware couldn't handle it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they wouldn't be releasing official equatorial mode if the hardware couldn't handle it. So it should be fine. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Oh, hey, Gary. Well, thanks for joining. Welcome. Yeah. The one thing that is kind of interesting is like at our latitude, it's pretty leaned over in equatorial mode, whereas some people like theirs won't be quite so leaned over, but it seems fine. I haven't really had any issues. Um, I mean the one, like, it's actually pretty nice because like the drop rate goes down. I can start running. I mean, there's a limit on how long of an exposure I can use just because of my bad Bortle skies, but I'll run 15-second exposures and have very few drops, if any. And so yeah, it's good. Yeah, no, it's like I say. I think like I run it that way. Wiley Site runs that way. Runs it that way. J Kelly runs it that way in equatorial mode, and I haven't. And I've know several other people who run it that way and haven't had issues. Yeah, if it's a bearing problem. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody's had issues with it. Um, so we'll see. Um, yeah. So just checking on the copy here. Okay, it's getting towards the end there. The sliced onion now. Again, I don't know how good some of this data is going to be just because I shot it with a lot of the light cloud issues last night. Yeah. Yeah, blue Loctite. Yeah, I don't, unfortunately, I don't have any. But one thing I did do, so, I mean, it's not quite Loctite, but it doesn't help with the screw itself. You've had to come loose on the Seestar. One thing the plate I have has kind of textured pads on it, and it does seem to help with like the rotation. So I'm hoping that'll help some of it, but I don't know how. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you want a second one anyway. Well, there you go. Get another one if the first one ends up failing. Yeah, exactly. I like that idea. It's like, would you take care of my baby? I like that. I might have to write that on the box. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, so it's making progress. What else? Yeah, so that's I just kind of wanted to go over kind of the basics of what all I was bringing and then do some final tests because I'm gonna have to take this. I have to get up, like I say, relatively early tomorrow, and I want to make sure I get some semblance of sleep. So I'm probably not gonna go for much longer here. Just like I say, I don't want to have any mishaps on the drive tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Like I say, the weather was looking good. Let's see if it's still looking good. I sure hope so. For Sunday, yeah, it still looks. It's actually looking better than it was. Like it was showing poor seeing all day, but now it looks like it might actually be stabilizing. So my plan is to do like a two-part live stream on Sunday. Solar stream and an evening stream, but both aimed at like solar system targets. So the sun, Venus, you know, Jupiter, Mars. Probably won't be able to image Saturn just because it's too low in my skies where it's kind of behind a building. So the observatory, I am taking it to. Do I not have that? Here it is. I'm taking it to Starfront. So I will be taking it up to Starfront. Yeah, I'll send it to me next week. Thanks. But thanks for tuning in, Cosmic Ray. I appreciate it. Have a good evening. Um, but yeah, yeah. It's the so it's in Texas. It's like what do you call it? Kind of past Austin. Uh, Not quite to San Angelo. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, the yeah, some of the other setups where yeah the camera is multiple times as expensive as the Seestar. um, yeah, I think it'll be fine. But yeah, this is where it's going, and this is where I will be, assuming there aren't any hiccups. This is where I'm going to be dropping it off tomorrow. Rockwood, Texas. So, um, yeah, they've got yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'd actually I need to say it again. But really, this was something I've wanted to do, and I wasn't sure which telescope I was going to use. But realistically, the quickest thing for me to do was and the thing I was able to do with what I had on hand, or mostly had on hand, was to send one of the Seestars there. And um, really, what I would have done it eventually, but what really made it possible is is the support I've gotten. Both indirectly from people um, and viewing and liking the videos, but also people who've done Patreon, YouTube channel membership, super chat, gift membership. Thank you, Seiko. Um, so yeah, that all kind of helped me. It kind of nudged me to do it sooner rather than later. Um, so thank you everybody who has, like I say, watched video or directly financially supported. I do appreciate it a lot. Yeah, filter more than the S30. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of those narrow band, and I was looking at what was I looking at? It was funny. I was looking at High Point, and oh, before I forget, High Point, uh, they're doing. Um, they opened another tranche today, and it was binoculars, but they're opening one um, on Monday, and then another one on Thursday. So the Monday one is going to be the solar telescopes, which I'm kind of interested to see what kind of discounts they have. And the Thursday one is going to be big aperture, and I don't know if that includes the 16-inch, or there were a couple 16-inch Meads they had, but also probably the Dobsonians, I'm guessing. So we shall see. But this this is going on. But I was looking at this, and where was it? Is it accessories, filters? And sometimes what I'll do is I'll go look, and I'll sort by price. And yeah, um, $2,700 for a filter set. Uh, a single filter for $1,300. This must be some mighty nice filters, but wow, yeah, it's like, yeah, and you don't even have to go that high end to, like, so many of these filters are, yeah, I've gone through, basically I'm on the second page now, on the third page before I got to the price of an S50. um, yeah, I like that idea. I'll make a note of that. I actually have some questions for them when I get there. If depending on how things go. Uh, yeah, I like that. I like that idea. But yeah, I'm looking forward to dropping that off. But that'll be tomorrow. Like I say, I appreciate all the help. Like this really, this wouldn't have happened this soon in the year if it weren't for the for everybody who's supported the channel directly or indirectly. Coming up on 2,000 subscribers, which is crazy. But yeah, like I say, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing another. I'll do like a very brief video message, probably for supporters only, but I'll share it, or members first, I guess, and I'll probably share it on other channels too, so others can see it, like on the Discord server. And then I'm gonna do a full video, like or an edited video of my trip out to Starfront. Hopefully it'll be interesting. Not too interesting, but hopefully it'll go well. And I'll, which is why I'm doing the 360 camera and need to clear off some things. So I can do a video of that. And then Sunday, again, planet solar system live stream, hopefully. So it's going to be a full weekend. Luckily, Monday is I have a day off, so I'll be able to recover, maybe sleep in on Monday. My telescope just made a noise. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, it just finished. Nice. Okay. So let me go. Nope. Start up Seestar so I can test out ALP. Okay. And we're on live view. Yeah, I think I was just bogging it down. But yeah, I got everything off. Excuse me, everything off here. I just need to clear it off now. And yeah, everything seems in order otherwise. Just make sure the stats look okay. Yeah, I think I definitely need to blow some of the dust off the lens here. Yeah, everything seems in order. I updated this to the latest version of ALP. I'm running an ancient firmware, which is fine. But yeah, I think that might be it. I might, because I have some packing, and then I need to get to bed. And when I say packing, I need to get all this stuff back in the box. I need to finish doing the getting the Pi in this case, and yeah, but yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it at that for tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in and for this journey, or hopefully not a major journey, but still it's a neat thing, and I think I'm really looking forward to it for so many reasons, but a big part of it is being able to image from a darker sky, but also a big part of it is just being able to image all of the sky, and except, not like the very narrow view I have. And another part of it is it'll be clear out there when it's cloudy here. Like it's going to be clear there, I think, tomorrow evening, whereas it's going to be cloudy here tomorrow evening. So it gives me some flexibility for being able to stream. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, have a cracking day out. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Cheap Astro. Have have a good night. And good night to everybody. And if you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord, and I will see you probably tomorrow or Sunday, hopefully. Until then, clear skies, and talk to you later.